Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about 5.2, which is just more going over the slope-intercept form of equations. So we are going to look at some examples before you start your worksheet. You're going to be given some graphs and you're going to be asked to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form from the graph. So just a reminder, slope-intercept form, 5.2, not 5.5. Slope-intercept form is in the setup of y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope, b is your y-intercept, and then your x and your y are just a coordinate pair. For the first set of problems in our practice A, we are going to be given some graphs, so something like this, and we are asked to write the equation of the line. So example 1, we're going to look at this first graph. We want to pick out some important points on it. So we want to find the slope and we want to find the y-intercept. When we are looking at a graph, it's easy to determine the y-intercept. In this case, the y-intercept would be at 1, or you could say our y-intercept is at 0, 1, in parentheses if it's a coordinate pair. Next, we need to find our slope. So m, our slope. Our slope is always rise over run. So our change in y, our up and down value, over our change in x. So delta y, change in y, over delta x, change in x. In this case, we are going up 1. So up 1, our change in y is 1, and our delta x is over 1. So up 1 over 1, which just gives us a slope of 1. So now we plug these two pieces of information into our equation. Y equals m is just 1, so you can write the 1 or you can leave it blank. So 1x plus our y-intercept is 1 also. So you have two different ways you could write this. Y equals 1x plus 1 or y equals x plus 1. It's up to you. For example 2, we are going to look at this second graph that's on here. So this time our y-intercept is up higher on our graph. It is at 0, 5, which just gives us a y-intercept of 5. Our slope is again positive, so it's a positive slope. It's going uphill. So we go rise up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it goes up 5 over 1. So our slope would just be 5. So the equation of this line would then be y equals 5x plus 5. Yeah. All right. So then we are going to look at the next set of problems. So we'll call example 3 our next problem we're going to talk about. Example 3. So if we were given a point, let's say -324, and you're given a slope. The slope is m equals -2. Can you go from a point and a slope to the equation y equals mx plus b? So we know some important information already. We know the m value. But we were also given two other pieces of information. So this is an xy coordinate. So we have an x value and a y value that we can plug in. So instead of writing the y up here, we're going to write 24. So 24 equals, we know our m value is -2. And then we know our x value. So our x value we were told is -3. So we have -2 times -3. And now we are finding the y-intercept. So we were given a point with a slope. We're trying to find the y-intercept. If we start to solve for b, so we want to isolate the variable, get b by itself, we multiply -2 and -3. So when you multiply -2 and -3, what do you get? Hopefully you don't say +9, because that's what I was just thinking. That's a little bit scary. So we get +6. 24 equals 6 plus b. From here you subtract 6 from each side, and we get 18 equals b. So our y-intercept in this case would be b. Now we've found the y-intercept, we still aren't done. There's one more thing that we have to do. You haven't written the equation of the line yet. All you've done is determined the y-intercept. So this isn't the final answer. You don't just circle that and say we're done. We go back and we plug it into this equation. So we have y equals, m is -2. So mx plus b, which is 18. And that is the equation of the line. So example 4, I'm going to do another one like this. So let's say we have 0, -3, and our slope is +2/3. So again, we have an x and a y, we have our m, but we are missing that b, so we need to solve for b like we did in example 3. We plug in our y value, so -3 equals, our x value in this case is 0, our slope is 2/3, and we don't know b. Hopefully we realize that when we have a 0, this is going to multiply to be 0. So -3 equals 0 plus b. If you move the 0 over, of course, you're just going to get -3 equals b. So a simple way to determine what the y-intercept would have been is to pay attention from the start. If your x value is 0, so if there's a 0 in the x value, it means that this is your y-intercept. So this is our y-intercept. So our equation would be y equals 2/3 x minus 3, or you could write y equals 2/3 x plus -3. It doesn't matter, you can write whichever way is easier for you. They are both the same thing. So now we're going to talk about writing the equation of a line that's parallel to, that is parallel to, so we're going to write the equation of a line parallel to a line through a given point, if that's not confusing. Hopefully this example helps. So example 5. We are going to say, let's pick an equation, y equals 2x minus 6. So we want to find a line that's parallel to this line and passes through the given point 2, 3. What are some things that we know about parallel lines? So this was on your chapter 4 test. Hopefully you remember. When we have parallel lines, it means that our slope is the same. So essentially what we are doing here is the same thing that we did in examples 3 and 4. So we have the slope and we have an x and a y. So we take our y value, 3 equals, slope is 2. It's just the same slope that they gave us. Parallel line has the same slope. So 2 times our x value, our slope is 2, our x value would be 2, plus b. So 2 times 2 is 4. We would subtract 4 from both sides, and we get -1 equals b. So our equation would be y equals, parallel line has the same slope, so 2x minus 1, or you could write y equals 2x plus -1. However you write it, both ways are correct. Let's do one more example of these. So y equals 1/2 x plus 8 is the line that we have to be parallel to. So we're parallel to y equals 1/2 x plus 8. And the point that it passes through is 2, -7. So we want to be parallel to y equals 1/2 x plus 8. And we want to pass through the point 2, -7. So again, parallel lines. Parallel lines have the same slope. I'm going to write that down even. Parallel lines have the same slope. The slopes are equal. So we know our m value is 1/2. We have an x value at 2 and a y value at -7. So we're plugging this stuff into y equals mx plus b. So y is -7 equals, I'm going to write that down too, y equals mx plus b. Plug in the stuff you know. So m is 1/2. X is 2. And we don't know b. So we're finding b. When we multiply 1/2 and 2, so you could write it as a fraction, 2/1, or you could just recognize that the 2's are going to cancel. So either way, you'd either get 1 or you'd get 2/2, which is 1. So we get a +1 here. If we subtract 1 from each side, it'll cancel this out. So that cancels out. On the left, we have -8, and on the right now, all we have is b. So we found our b value. So the equation for a line parallel to y equals 1/2 x plus 8 that passes through the point 2, -7 would be y equals 1/2 x plus -8, or y equals 1/2 x minus 8. Whichever way you write it, they're both correct. There are some word problems that follow these ones. So if you have any questions on the word problems, please ask your teachers. The answers are going to be posted for you to check your answers. The only difference is that the work isn't going to be shown. So you will have to show your work in order to earn points. You have to show your work in order to earn points. It's the only way we can verify that you're actually doing any work at home. If you have questions, please, please, please contact your teacher. We would love to help you. We are here to help you. We want you to be successful. We really want you guys to do your work. That would be a good start for all 50 of you that actually watch these videos during the distance learning process. We appreciate you. For the rest of you that aren't watching the videos, I really hope you hear this one so that you can hear that I'm kind of bad-mouthing you for not doing what you're supposed to be doing. But at the same time, we still like you nonetheless. We just want you to do some math here and there. You know, we really don't want to have you again next year in Math 1, but that might be the case. All right, sayonara, suckers.